Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you being here. Kind of a recap from the post-game presser. I want to thank Niner Nation for showing up, and during a little bit of weather. You know, I don't think it hurted our crowd. It was a sold-out house, and here at Jerry Richardson, we're very appreciative of it. And so our team is very appreciative. A lot goes into that. Joe being part of that, and tons of people, all the efforts. Again, I tip my hat, and the atmosphere, as I said at post game presser, I get home and I get a chance to spend some time with my family Sunday morning, and they were in the stands. I just see all the people, and it's the loud and great environment. But my family firsthand experienced it, as our staff's kids and wives did, and just great experience. And they got Dippin' Dots. I heard that from one of the little kids. So anyway, but sorry we didn't get it done. Just on the game, I thought we made progress on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively we're still struggling. We got to get things figured out. It's first game we had penalties. We had things that shot ourselves in the foot, and then all of a sudden Saturday. We had the four snaps. The snap thing showed up, out of nowhere, and obviously we're diving into that. In both games offensively, we've had drives. We have not been able to finish them. We've got to get points. We can't. They can't be field goals. I know the one fourth down. I think Hunter, you asked me after the game. That was an easy call. Defense had settled in. We got some stops, and I thought it might be a 13-10 game. That's an easy one. The second one was a little bit more difficult decision. With where we are on the clock, but back to the offensive piece of this. I mean, we've gone back staff-wise and looked at every call. Where the breakdown is. We've had discussions on, after 10 plays, we're down in the red zone, and are they tired? I mean, we've asked that. I mean, we looked at what we've called, trying to analyze it, and we got to be better on first down. That's the kind of repeat. If we're better on first down, we got to avoid the third and longs down there, and I think again to be good on first down, you got to be able to establish the run game. Plain and simple. All right, and this is not an excuse. We're banged up in the O line. I've used the word musical chairs. Johnny's going to be questionable at best this week. Probably closer to doubtful. But he obviously didn't practice today. But he's working his tail off with our trainers to get ready. The thing that we've endured, that's on us right now is just from a numbers issue in the O-line. And we've got just walking off the field. I think we've got seven O-linemen, 7 or 8, and Mitch might make it 9. And I want to get into Mitch's thing, but I do know that it's affecting how we practice. That's where I'm headed. It's hurting the defense as well because we're thin. And the new rule with 105. We were set to go. It's supposed to be across the board, and then we had a change from the NCAA with late June that it's not 105. Well, we turned down. I don't know how many quality kids that want to walk on because hey, we're at 105, and then we're scrambling to try to get. We can go to 115, and there are schools that are more than 115, and when you have the injuries that we've gotten in the offensive line, all right, and you got a limited roster, it's affecting how we're having to practice. And we're having to, for the first time in my career, we're having to do some different things, because of where we're at. And again, I'm not. Is that why we're struggling in the red zone? No, but it's affecting how we're practicing. I tell you that. How just normal flow and number of reps. So, again, I don't want to ever come off as, whining or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying here. We're addressing it the best we can as a staff, and we want to score points, and that's going to give us our best chance with winning the game. Of course, that's what we're trying to get done. I want to, I want to talk a little bit about our opponent coming in. Yeah, obviously, a bunch of points they're scoring. I think Joe told me yesterday they're first or second in passing or total offense. I can't remember. I've got a chance to watch a couple, both games. I haven't seen a whole lot of cut-ups, but they got really good skill kids. The quarterback is, All-American. I think his brother's the offensive coordinator. Coach Callahan is the only coach they've had in school history there at Monmouth. I think they're over 30 years. Unbelievable career. They got an All-American at tailback. I think they returned 10 starters on offense. And the kid's a gunslinger, heavy. I mean, RPO every play. And we're gonna have to be ready for tempo, which is hard to simulate in practice. I thought the scout teams did a good job of that today to help our defense get ready for that. They're going to put pressure on us with the scoreboard. Offensively, we're going to have to have our best. We're going to play our best game period to be in the game. I mean, it should be great for our fans. It's a big challenge, but we are at home. Niner Nation is going to show up. It should be an exciting game. Okay, with that long opening statement, I will open it up for questions.
Coach, with that said, what is your confidence level in your team going into week 3?
Yeah, I'm encouraged. And you can ask them. I mean, these coaches are coaching the heck out of them. We're being demanding, holding them accountable, and I'm very proud that they have not shown any splintering. And it's tough to do. I mean, they want to win them all. And those first 2 were in-state games, and we had a chance to make it a game last week. Offensively couldn't put pressure on them, on our opponent. So I know they're down, and Tuesday's a hard day. They came out to work, and I'm proud of them for them sticking together, and my confidence level is fine. I'm just banging my head a little bit on how to fix some of the issues. Good coaches, fix problems. Really good coaches fix what causes them. And I can't control the roster like I'm trying to. You can't fix it. In the end of June, everybody. Student athletes know where they're going by the end of June. You can't up your number, and again, that's got no bearing, on where we are on offense. But okay, I better get off my soapbox there.
Coach Beck here. I don't want to be pounding on the offense here, but
Sorry.
the run game has been the sore spot, and you talked about the numbers in the offensive line. Is it schematics? Is it because you guys are thin that you've had trouble getting the ground game going? Is it attitude? I don't want to say it's want to, because I know these guys want to, but where are you seeing the biggest kind of stumbling block there?
Yeah, it's certainly not want to. And first of all, I'm gonna tip my hat to the front 7 and first 2 opponents. They're have done a really good job. I'd like to sit here and say, yeah, it's all mistakes. It's not, but we're not good enough on offense to overcome second and long, which is kind of the theme in the first game. We had a better jump in the second game. I mean, we just couldn't finish. The light at the end of the tunnel is in both those games you had long drives. We put the ball. Two of the teams today out of the 4 we had were down in there. And we actually did a few conditioning things to get them huffing and puffing, and then break the huddle. And just because again you go in a 10-11 play drive. Is it because they're not thinking, sharp because they've had a 10-11 play drive? I'm not suggesting that we're out of shape. We're trying to do. We're trying to turn over all the rocks and give us our best chance to be able to finish.
Coach, you brought up Monmouth's quarterback. The last 2 weeks, you face slightly different challenges at quarterback. What have you liked about the way the defense has handled those different challenges for App State, for North Carolina, and then obviously moving forward now to Monmouth?
Yeah, again, the first game we didn't know who it was going to be, but I say that we prepared for that who ended up playing, and he showed a tremendous amount of toughness. We pressured him, and he stood in there and made some really good throws. This Mr. Lopez this last week, I mean, he extended plays, made some really some good conversions with his feet. At least one of those scrambles, found someone to throw to give them a couple more conversions. But again, there's progress there. I think we had 6 3-and-outs. They kept us in the game. I mean, right? They kept the score from getting out of hand. And just offensively, we just couldn't. The game was over late in the fourth, and I said we need as many plays as we can get. A lot of teams would have just ran the ball and got out of there, and I just felt like we need the reps, and to try to get some flow, confidence, whatever you want, and we did some things in there. And I know it's drop 8 or whatever, and I get it, but just where we are as an offense, that I thought that was the thing to do, and yeah, we need a big jump. We got a tall task offensively this week. We can't have. I think we had 4 3-and-outs the first 3 series. I think in the game we're down 10-0. We can't. There's no way we can afford to do that this week and who we're facing.
Coach, will Connor Harrell be your starting quarterback?
Oh yeah, right? Absolutely. I think you asked me. Someone asked me on this side of the room. I think it was you, maybe, how he played, and I got a chance to watch the tape, rewind it, and he played better than the first one. He did. The one throw he hit Javen. I think I referenced Sean. But it was actually to Javen, and that's as good as you're going to get. I mean, there was a guy barreling right down at him, some leakage, maybe a pressure. He put it on. He changed his arm angle, put it on the money, And again, I think he played better in the second than he did the first. Now he wasn't perfect, but neither am I. No one ever is. We got to get him involved with his legs a little bit more. We called some things. We're inside zone team. It's not all we do. We got gap and we got outside zone. We called some zone read things, and the team that we're playing, they were a surf team. They're ends. We call surfers, and so a lot of times it's the read is to give it, not pull it. And so, but back to his play he's improved, and we need for him to take another jump this week.
I touched on it right there with Connor Harrell. I don't want to mince your words, but you said in the post game for UNC that you saw him do some dual threat stuff for you guys, which was a bonus. He's a dual threat quarterback, so do you feel like that should be a bonus, or do you want to maybe help the run game by allowing him, like you said, to utilize his feet a little more often?
Yeah, I just know we've recruited the quarterbacks that we have in our room to be dual threat guys. Now I don't want our quarterback carrying the ball double digits. He's not a running back. He's quarterback, But we have recruited those guys to utilize them, and we call the plays. Again, it's back to the defensively. When we called them, what they had on defense, it was to hand the ball off, And so hey, let's get the ball in the perimeter, and told them to pull it with some relief flat bootleg type of things, but it looks just like zone read. So anyway, not to get too complicated for you, but to get the ball in his hands. Again, I mean we're gonna call the plays that we need to win the game. I just know if your quarterbacks can create, which ours can, it puts pressure on the defense, and we saw that from their quarterback. That's kind of what I. Was where I was going. If I said bonus, I stand by it. But I'd like to for us to continue with the direction that we're going as far as the play calls, and I think we just gotta find ways to utilize the quarterback when it fits.
Coach, injury front. You mentioned Jade McGowan's out for the year. What is his injury? And
Yeah,
some of
it's
the
a
others on the team?
lower body. I'll just leave it at that, Hunter. DJ Burgess is going to be out for the year. He's going to have surgery. It looks like next week, I think, and he's got an upper body injury. So it's unfortunate, and you know, we didn't have Jalen. We didn't have DJ or Jalen last week. You know, Jalen's practiced today, so he'll be fine. But Jarrell Liverpool got his first action last week, and Curtis Simpson, who's played both games. Both those guys will step up, and you know, it's next man up mentality. They're excited. We'll go from there. Yeah, Sean did not practice. I would say he actually suited up and tried to go in the second half, but he couldn't do it. It's a contusion. Henry, unfortunate. Yeah, I'm kicking myself. He tried to go, had the 10-yard run, and pulled himself. And I said last week, hey, he's got to be able to practice to play. And he suited up. I thought he looked full speed in our first game, and didn't play because I wanted to make sure. I was very clear on that. And he practiced, and he thought he was okay. And we put him in there, and he had the big run, a 10-yard run, and had to come out. So he's had an MRI yesterday. He sees a doctor today, and I probably should have pressed to get that done earlier. I thought it was a muscle. I'll know more after they read the MRI. I don't think it's serious because he's not in pain, but he's not full speed, And we certainly need him. He's explosive, and it's killing him not to be out there. But we got to figure it out, and so we can get him healthy, and he can go, 30 plays in a game, and not 5.
Coach, back here again, getting back to the quarterbacks, you mentioned Connor's going to be your starter, and Grayson got the last bits of work there that you said you guys wanted to see. You needed more reps and those sorts of things. What did Grayson show you in that short window? It seemed like he was kind of slinging it all over the place. Yeah,
he comes in anytime you come in the game in that situation. It's not fun. You're not running the ball. It's all pass. They're pinning their ears back, getting after you on pass rush. And probably, and some prevent stuff. It's all pass. But he sat in there and made some really nice throws. The Hail Mary pick it's a pick, but it's, in my mind, it's a Hail Mary, and we're going to play to the last whistle. So, but the pick that he had in the red zone, somebody came free or twist. I can't remember. His man, maybe zero. And he tried to back shoulder it to the kid, and the safety was off, and made a good play, and he took a pretty good shot on that. But specifically about Grayson, he did just what we want him to do. I think he had a scramble in there for a first down, which was great. Again, he's mobile. So again, you're probably going to see all three of them at some point in time in the season, just because how college football is these days. But hey, Connor's our starter. He did some good thing. Today's his birthday. So so you guys know that. But yeah.
And then just one flipping the script on the defense. Yes, they gave up 2 touchdowns, but you held Carolina to just over 300 yards. They didn't get out of hand. They did a nice job in keeping you guys in there. What are you seeing from that group? It feels like they may be kind of taking on a little more of the burden, saying we got to be as great as we can be until the offense finds their legs.
Right. Yeah. I don't think anybody said it quite like that. Right now our focus is just, hey, we got to get better, and that's really, what our messaging to our team is, hey, we've got to improve, and it's not just going to happen because it's week 3. Hey, we got to get better, on today, and Tuesday's a tough day, and again, I'm going to repeat this, but we don't have any splintering, but our focus is just, hey, get better, and it's not, let's get better because the offense, we need to help them out. It's just, hey, let's get better, and trusting that both sides and special teams continue to do that.
Speaking of Sean Brown, he came on our podcast a few weeks back and mentioned that you had talked to previous head coaches here about ways to improve the program, not make the same mistakes. I'm curious, those conversations, some of your takeaways from those.
Absolutely. I talked to it'd be 3, right? All 3? I talked to all 3 at some point in time. Most recently was Coach Lambert in the month of August, I think, during fall camp. And again, they're all 3 different errors. The first question I had asked Coach Lambert was all the NFL guys that are on the wall behind me here in this facility, his staff recruited. So I started with that. Where'd and that process. But they're all helpful. They handle it. That's probably unorthodox thing to do to call, but I know them through other guys, and they were true gentlemen and answered my questions honestly. And I said, I want this thing to work, and I don't have all the answers. I'll do my best to always have a learning mindset, and never cut corners, and just to let those guys talk and formulating a plan moving forward. Obviously, the thing that we're facing is it's a totally different ball game right now than what it was for all. Biff got a little bit of the where we are with playing athletes. It's different, and yeah. All right, appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Mason, I'll start with you. Coach has talked about kind of musical chairs up front. What has that been like for you guys? And when you see someone like a Johnny King go down, how do you guys rally and make sure his presence is still felt?
Yeah, it's rough. He's obviously a big leader on this team, big part of the offense. He's a great guy off the field, even better player on the field. So it's rough. But also in our O-line room, it's always the next man up. And I think we got a good group of guys, so we can achieve that.
Sticking with Mason, Coach did also say that it's kind of affected practice being thin at offensive line. Can you just talk about that? Do you feel like it's been a little different with, not having as many guys there right now?
For sure. We're doing a little more rotations, so a little more reps for certain guys. It's not too crazy. It's normal. Somebody gets hurt, next man up. But we're confident in where we're at, and we have a good group of guys.
For both of you, you guys just transferred into the program. You got your first taste of Niner Nation, the record crowd last week. What was it like playing in front of that hometown crowd?
Yeah, it was amazing. Seeing all the fans come out and support us, and we're looking forward to this weekend as well. Another packed out stadium, sold out. So we're thankful for that, even though it was a little disappointing to lose and whatnot. But we appreciate all the fans to continue to support us.
It was awesome. Niner Nation is great. I think that the fourth quarter tradition you guys we have, it was pretty cool. The fireworks and all that, it was great. I'm excited for these next coming games and home games, and it was a good atmosphere.
Caleb, especially in the second half against North Carolina, the defense really tightened up. What exactly do you think, I guess from your point of view, happened that kind of allowed you guys to really tighten up in the second half? And maybe what did you learn that now you can take against Monmouth?
Just trusting the coaching. Everything they ran, we saw in practice. Their scout team and watching film, specifically the DBs, we meet a lot in the afternoons, without coaches. So just player-led situations and understanding what we're seeing each and every week. And then we have a lot of depth in the room, so even our younger guys got to step up and be able to go in there and make plays. doesn't matter what situation we're in, how bad the offense looks, how bad special teams looks, we got to be able to go out there and play.
Question here from Mason. What is the one thing you guys think you might be lacking as a group in terms of on-field? I know the numbers are thin and you guys are trying to make do, being a little shorthanded, but are you guys not generating enough push? Are you pass pro? I mean, where's the area you think you guys need to pick things up from your position group standpoint?
Yeah. So week one, a big emphasis from week 1 to week 2 was penalties. That was inexcusable. I think we cleaned that up a little bit with holdings, false starts, and we got a couple more things we need to work on. Like always, every team has, we keep growing. We're constantly on a pursuit of greatness, and we can't get complacent. I think we stay on that track. We'll figure it all out.
For Caleb, we talk about Dwight Boodle. He's played a lot at corner these past couple games. Seems to be finding his stride.
Yeah, he's been balling out since App State. He's just a really confident guy. We can trust him wherever. He plays a little bit in the slot as well. So seeing him tackle, cover everything is great to see.
Going into this weekend, you guys have top 25 ranked FCS team coming in. Talk about what kind of matchups they pose to both sides of the ball.
I used to play in the CAA, so I know any team is capable of winning any game. Like, we're not saying this is an FCS team coming in here. This is a team that's very capable of winning and making good plays. So we have to limit explosives and stay on top of our keys and trust the coaching.
I think just coming in past couple of days after the game, as a whole, as a team, we're not looking at this team like they're an FCS team. I mean, we haven't won a game yet. We've got something to prove, and we're hungry. So,
for Caleb, I want to piggyback off of that. You have experience playing against Monmouth. What kind of edge do you think that gives you to help the defense this week?
I guess just reiterating again that this is not a team that's going to let us win and roll by. I haven't played them since 2023, so it's a lot of turnover, a lot of new guys, but just still understanding like they have a good offensive coordinator, they have a good head coach, very experienced, and they know what they're doing.
For Caleb, you talked about trusting the coaches, everything they were, I guess, showing you on film kind of happened in the game. What's the relationship with the defense and the coaching staff, and do they trust you back where you go to them and have some dialogue and say, hey, maybe this should work, and then they kind of play off of that?
Yeah, for sure. Coach Nardo is a great coach. Coach Fonez as well. We all communicate very well. Like I said, we have a lot of depth, so all of us rotating in there and communicating helps everyone out.
appreciate y'all.
Thank you.